So here I've got oil and here I've got diesel. So the question is, can you add oil into your diesel? Get me right. I'm answering the question, can you add oil into your diesel, and not should you add oil into your diesel? Because when you're asking me if you should add, you're asking for my recommendation, and that is a no. But if you're asking about the possibility of adding oil into your diesel, then the answer is yes. And these are the kind of videos that I do make that make my boss cringe. So Imran, wherever you are, I apologize in advance. Anyway, let's get into it. So let's get to the whiteboard. Before we progress, let's talk about two things, and that is friction and something we call viscosity. What is the relationship between these two? When we talk about viscosity, just like I said recently, it is the resistance of fluids to flow. So what means is that if a liquid is less viscous, it simply means that the viscosity levels are low. That simply means that it flows faster or easily. Now, if a liquid or a fluid is flowing faster or easily, it simply means that it is less viscous. So let's understand this. When we talk about friction results into heat. And now, when heat is generated, it results into something we call wear and tear. So I hope up to that point you've understood viscosity, which is the resistance of liquids to flow, and we've understood friction. Friction is a kind of energy that generates heat that results into wear and tear. So how do they relate? If something is viscous, it means it's thick. Let me just use that term. If something is thick, it simply means that it is able to reduce friction. When something is thick, as in, let me just write thick. Thick simply means that it has high viscosity. The resistance to flow is very high. So when it is thick or it has high viscosity, it simply means that it is able now to reduce friction. When friction is reduced, heat is reduced. When heat is reduced, wear and tear is reduced. So I hope you can see the correlation between these two, friction and viscosity. Now, let's talk about diesel itself. There's a video I highlighted and said that the purpose of diesel in the car is not just to power the car, that is, as a fuel, but at the same time, it is a lubricant. All right? What do I mean by a lubricant? It's because diesel is responsible for lubricating the fuel system components, okay? Fuel system components. And these components include maybe the pump, they include the injectors, they include the nozzles. So when you have a diesel car, other than just powering the car, the diesel too is a lubricant. We need this system in top-notch condition. We need the pump properly lubricated. We need the injectors properly lubricated. We need the nozzles properly lubricated to ensure that they work efficiently. So now, let's talk about oil. When you compare oil and diesel, oil is really viscous. It is thick. So what happens is, if it is thick, it means that it has better lubricating properties. All right? So when you add oil into diesel, it simply means that you're improving on the lubrication abilities of diesel. That is why I said you can add oil into your diesel. That is because you will be enhancing the lubrication properties. But no, here's the big question. Which oil should be used to top up into your diesel? You just can't go using any oil. You know, there's you over there. You'll now go and say that girl from TikTok, that girl from YouTube said that I should put oil into my diesel, and now my fuel system is now kaboom, and you come blaming me. Get me right. There's a specific kind of oil that you should use to add into your diesel, and that is what we call the two-stroke oil. And we also have something we call four-stroke oil. Let me show you. We've got here, let me just try, I'll do a very simple illustration of a combustion chamber. And kindly, don't criticize my drawings. I know I'm not really the best artist when it comes to that, but anyway, you get the point. So what happens is this. Over here, you've got the combustion chamber. When you've got the combustion chamber, you've got the compressed air, and then you have maybe the injector that is now spraying in the fuel in there. So what happens is this: when you use the four-stroke oil, this one. Let me first clarify on this. When it comes to this two-stroke oil, it burns smoothly. But when you come to the four-stroke oil, when you burn it, it results into production of carbon. So you'll have something we call carbon deposits. So what is the effect of carbon deposit? When you've got carbon deposits, they will attach themselves on your piston. What results into that is that when you have more carbon deposits around your combustion chamber, it will reduce the efficiency of your engine. So four-stroke oil is out. So two-stroke oil is the one that is best recommended. Get me right. There is a specific quantity. You just don't go topping out the entire contents of the two-stroke oil into your diesel. No, always consider the right quantity. You know one thing about a two-stroke oil, it's an enhancer. And if it's an enhancer, you always have to use the right amount to get the desired effects or to get the desired results. So yes, the right quantity of two-stroke oil. So now on to another question. Which cars should you add oil into your diesel? That is the two-stroke oil. When we talk about the cars that you can, get me right, you can, not you should, where there's a possibility of adding oil into it and nothing is compromised on, or maybe it actually makes the lubricating properties or sustains your fuel system components. I talk about old diesel cars. Why old diesel cars? That is because these cars have seen their better days. These cars have really enjoyed their youthful days, if I may call them that. And now because of age, because of how they have been working for quite some time, as in the components have really been, the fuel system components have been working for quite some time. That necessarily just tells you that there is wear and tear on the components. Now, when there is wear and tear on the components, you need more lubrication so that these components can sustain you or serve you longer. And now, that is where now our 2T or our two-stroke oil comes into play. Because when you add your 2T into diesel, you enhance more lubrication. When you have more lubrication, you have reduced wear and tear. That means that now the fuel system of your old diesel car will serve you longer, will give you better, it will give you a longer time with your car. But now, when we come to modern cars, this one I can never insist enough. Modern diesel cars, these ones, it's a no and a big one. Do not add oil into your modern diesel car. Why is that so? Modern diesel cars are very sensitive. So don't go messing around with your modern diesel car saying that I was advised on the internet to add oil into it and then you end up messing your car. So kindly, when it comes to modern cars, do not add oil into your diesel. So once again, I insist, I'm answering the question, can you add oil into your diesel? Can you? Is there a possibility? Not should you. It's not a recommendation. So can you add oil into your diesel car? The answer is yes, with a but. When it comes to should you add oil into your diesel car, the answer is a no. So I hope I've clarified it. With all diesel cars, you can add oil, two-stroke oil into your diesel. But with modern cars, no, with capital letters. Kindly subscribe to my YouTube channel. The name is Joan Reels, and this is where I share informative and educative car content tailor-made just for you. Thank you.